Well, greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very special and very sacred online event today. It is called the Healing Embrace of Great Mother, a ritual for receiving divine nurturance and empowering your soul work. My name is Stephen Dinan, and I am the founder and president of the Shift Network. And it is my distinct honor and blessing to get to introduce you, if you don't know her already, to my beloved partner, co-founder of the Shift Network, and a remarkable teacher, particularly of women's spirituality and ways to activate your power and your blessing in a very feminine aligned way. Her name is Devva Haley Mitchell. She is a spiritual mentor and guide. She's also a trained sound healer and musician, a very multidimensional being who is here to help you activate a new pattern of feminine manifestation possibilities. So Devva, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Stephen. And I'm really looking forward to being in this sacred space with you and with everyone else today.
Great. Well, I want to let everybody know that we're going to have this time together. We're actually going to do a much more extended practice and ritual than we typically do in an introductory call like this. But there's going to be a chance to go much deeper with Devva and her brand new program. It's called the Divine Feminine Activation, harnessing the power of goddess practices and lunar cycles to catalyze your soul work. It's going to offer a very unique way to dive into what's called archetypal initiatory work in a format that really empowers you in your blessing. So we'll share more about that towards the end of the hour if you get sparked to go further. So Devva, obviously we have a lot of backstory and history. So I want you to sort of first start us off with and share with everybody a little bit of what propelled you into both studying and then teaching this more uniquely feminine way of manifesting your gifts.
Yes, well, I've been on this path of the sacred feminine for quite a long time now, definitely more than a decade. And, I spent a lot of time journeying and visiting lots of different workshops and retreats and women's circles. And I was really looking for something that had depth, that had gravitas, and that felt like a home to me that I could be in, not just for a short period of time, but where I could really be a part of an ongoing lineage and community that really supported the flowering of my being. And I found it in the 13 moon lineage, was very grateful to Ariel Spilsbury, who's the founder of that lineage and has been my mentor for a long time, among other mentors. But that lineage has really been foundational for me and for many others. It spawned many different incarnations and different ways that it's now being expressed in the world. But as I started working with these archetypes, I found that it was a much more powerful and ongoing path, not a short thing, but something that really was something I could dive into through time, and that really transformed me from a very deep level. Each of the feminine archetypes, and I realize that some of you may not even be familiar with archetypes. So when I speak about archetypes, they are universal patterns of behavior that stretch through time and across cultures. So for example, the Great Mother, which is the archetype we'll be working with today, no matter when you were born or what culture, there's still some universal themes that are true about the energy of the mother. So unconditional love, nurturance, receptivity, that's some of the qualities of the Great Mother. Or you could say something similar about the noble father, or about the muse or the wild woman. And I found that each of these is a whole packet of information, initiations, but really ways of being that empower you to be the most radiant light that you can be. I think about the rainbow, and each of these different archetypes is like one color of the rainbow, and you need all the colors to be the most radiant being you could be. And ultimately, as you're wanting to manifest things in the world, who you are being is a very foundational component of that. So being the most radiant, full spectrum, alive, vibrant, clear, loving, awake human, and a process to systematically help you get there was something that I was looking for. And I'm so grateful that I discovered and have been on this path for a long time now.
So let's talk a little bit about how there's these different archetypes. Some might be strong or activated or embodied, and some might be resistant or they might have fears around. And so maybe share a little bit about why working with this full spectrum really helps to kind of balance and round out the fullness of your embodied experience.
Yeah, I think it's a good point, Stephen. Most people that I work with, when they come into a program or start working with these archetypes, there's some of them that are really turned on, as you say. So especially for women, most commonly, some of I would say the softer archetypes are more readily available to people. For example, the Great Mother or the Goddess of Compassion or the Priestess, which is a much more quiet energy. Those are more awake in many women, but everyone's different. There's other archetypes, for example, one we call the Creator Destroyer, which is a lot about liberation and shedding everything that is not serving you in your life. One of the embodiments of the Creator Destroyer is Kali from the Hindu culture. And this is a very fierce, wild, often pictured with like her tongue out of her mouth and blood dripping, and people can become very afraid even of that archetype or the idea of embodying that in yourself. But really the point is, it's about liberating yourself from what is not serving you. What are the patterns? What are the ways of being? What are the relationships that are really outmoded and ready to go? So as you get into this wild Kali, it's a freeing, liberating energy. And for myself personally, where that one was something that I felt more reticent to step into initially, it's something now that I really enjoy. And it gives me the ability to set boundaries, to push things away or say no, and mean it in a way that really wasn't as accessible to me earlier. Another archetype I remember feeling more shy about, and this came out, I actually recorded an album where I worked with one archetype of each of the sacred feminine and one goddess for each song on my album that has 13 songs for the 13 archetypes. So the song that was about Aphrodite, which is the goddess of love, but in her sensual, sexy, pleasure-seeking part, I felt very shy to be in that part, so much so that when I was recording the song, I had to have my producer promise that he would not look at me and would just look the other direction as I tried to really bring this energy into my body and into my being. And through time, it's something that has become comfortable for me. But originally, I don't know what was going on a subconscious level, but that being alive, sexy, slithery woman was something that some part of me felt shut down around, or was bad, or I didn't want to attract that kind of attention, that then I didn't know how to work with it when I got the attention. So each of these really opens up different parts of our being to allow us to be awake, full, all of it. We are sexy. We are, the muse is a lot about creativity. So the artist energy, the wild woman energy, the priestess energy, each of these allows a kind of a whole different way of being so that we can be in our fullness, and we're not just kind of coloring with just a few crayons. We're coloring with like the full set of crayons to really be fully expressed. And then as we are fully expressing the radiance of who we are, as we're looking at manifesting things in our life, then things are actually much more easily attracted to us, because who we are being is magnetic, is radiant, and others are drawn to that. And so it becomes much more easy to manifest. And then there's specific practices that we can do, which we'll talk about a little bit more in depth later during this call. But to work with each of these archetypes through a lunar cycle, and then using the lunar cycles along with the archetypes to really empower our manifestation process, and really to be able to bring these core visions and dreams that we hold deeply in our hearts into manifest form, and how we can do that in a way that is more feminine and more aligned with spirit.
Well, it's really been clear to me how much you blossomed as a result of this initiatory work with all the archetypes. But let's hone in on the Great Mother, which you've also undergone the physical journey of becoming a mother in the last 6 years, and it's really added so many different dimensions to your life. But let's share a little bit about the Great Mother as an archetype, why that's really a central one to incarnate, so that you can really do that for yourself and then bring out a certain quality of manifestation and support into the world.
Yeah. So we work with 13 archetypes, and the Great Mother is the first one that we work with in the series. And what I have found, which actually surprised me a little bit in the beginning, was the Great Mother archetype is one of the energies that people actually have some of the most challenge with. And the reason is because so many of us did not fully receive the nurturing energy of our own physical mother that we may have longed for. There is a lot of neglect many people have experienced. There's a lot of rifts or breaks in the mother line, or things that made us not really receive as much of this receptivity and nurturance, and sometimes even physical holding that we desired. And so as we work with the mother, all of these things come up. Parts of us that may feel not good enough, parts of us that may feel that we don't belong, parts of us that may feel like an imposter. And there's a lot of pain for many people, thankfully not for everyone, but for many, connected with the whole mother line and the mothering energy. So, and this is also a place that's really important, because the Great Mother also, she's this holding container that gives us a sense of safety, a sense of security, a sense that we belong, that we are loved, that we matter. And so as we work with this energy and really create a space where we feel held, where some of those wounds can be healed, and when we're held in this loving embrace, it can be so healing on a very deep level. And as we heal this, we kind of drop into a deeper part of ourselves and can come from there. And then the Great Mother is also a space of deep listening. And for those of us who are wanting to manifest things in the world, the way many people are taught to manifest is, just coming up with your visions and your intentions and just kind of taking off like a rocket ship, just, bursting into action. And we miss the critical step of really being open, being receptive, and treating ourselves like an instrument of the divine, knowing that we are indeed in a dance of co-creation with spirit and with the divine. So as we listen, not just to what our kind of ego mind self might want, which is a fine part of ourself, but it's not the only part. It's how do we also listen to the whispers of the universe, to synchronicities, to kind of allowing messages from our ancestors, from the invisible realms to come in and guide us as we say, yes, I'm in a co-creative dance here with spirit, and I'm listening to what is wanting to manifest through me that's even larger than myself, that's perhaps even better than what I might be thinking of or know about as a human being. It's like my soul self opens to receive. And as we take time and space and really safeguard that place where we're listening, feeling, and the Great Mother and these energies, it communicates in a slower, more symbolic realm. So we take a little time to look at what are the symbols that are emerging and what is the symbolic meaning, and then kind of following those that breadcrumb trail, in addition to what our very smart mind with all of our ideas might have to say about something. But as we're in this co-creative dance and we're listening, and then we're listening for specific guidance about, what do I need to know? What do I need to release? Who do I need to contact, or what action might I take? But we're kind of taking notes from spirit and from those invisible realms. Then from there, when we step into our own visions and intentions, we weave that in, and then often something much more coherent and beautiful and deep is able to emerge. And this is a place that is often skipped when people are thinking about, kind of wanting to manifest something. There's a missing of the kind of the in-breath, the receptivity, being in this dark void of co-creation with the Great Mother. So that's something I really want to bring, and we will in our ritual here, bring front and center into our process here today.
Well, I want to dive into your ritual. Before you do, maybe you can share a little bit about why linking this inward activation of the Great Mother archetype with the lunar cycles can be particularly valuable.
Yeah. Well, we have these natural cycles every month of the seasons and obviously the moon, and most people are not really paying attention to it at all. And yet it is another way that we can not have to use just our own human will to make something happen, but we're riding the energy currents of the lunar cycle. So when the moon is dark, it's a time that's quiet. The energy on Earth is more settled, quiet. It's a time for listening. And as you go through each of the cycles, in every couple of days, we shift and we work with a different archetype of the feminine. So every 2 to 3 days, we're moving from Great Mother, listening, then we're into Goddess of Compassion, where we're setting our intentions. Then we're moving into the Priestess, where we're kind of going into a still space. Then we're going into the Creator Destroyer, where we're saying, okay, what do we need to let go of with this vision? You know, what is the way that it may not be serving the greater whole, that we may be overly self-serving, for example. So, and then as we move towards the full moon is when things are in fullness. We're bringing in aliveness, we're bringing in joy, we're bringing in beauty into our intention. So this is a way that we can just be moving with more grace and ease, that we're not having to push. We're just harnessing the lunar cycles, and then we're also harnessing the cycles of the seasons, so that the whole thing just flows much more easily and naturally. And we're in more of a flow state, which feels easier, like less effort, and more of those kind of synchronistic things are happening as we're just taking the lunar cycle into account and working with it rather than against it.
Well, let's dive into the ritual that you wanted to lead. I think people will really get so much value.
Okay, great. So wherever you are, I'm going to use my little rattle here. I'm just going to invite you to imagine that there is a grounding cord from the base of your spine that is dropping down. And you can hear my sound. I'm imagining that I am releasing anything that is not fully serving me on my exhale, and I'm sending it down my grounding cord, inviting you to do the same. Just taking a few breaths in like that. And imagining that around you there is a golden bubble of light that is protecting you. And only those energies for your highest and greatest good are invited into your bubble. Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I hear your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears. Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. And so now we're going to have some music join us to help create this field for us. And as you're sitting here in this space, just noticing your center, noticing your own heart. And imagining that those roots that are going deep into the earth, those roots are now turning into little straws, and they're also sucking up some of the energy of Mother Earth into your root system. Now imagine with your in-breath, you're breathing in the healing energy of Great Mother. And as you're breathing it in, I want to invite you to imagine that you're also breathing in the color frequency of burgundy red, color of blood, color of the womb. And there's a deep sort of healing frequency that comes from the earth. So imagine you're opening to receive this energy. And imagining from your arms that there are branches growing up into the sky and that you're opening yourself to receive the wisdom of the spiritual realms, of your ancestors, your guides. Just imagining at the top of your head, you're opening yourself as wide as you feel comfortable opening. Some of those energies coming in. And now from your heart, I want to invite you to just imagine that you are starting to feel some of the love of the energy, this archetypal energy of Great Mother. And shifting now to your belly button, imagining from your belly button that there is an umbilical cord that is stretching through time and space out into the cosmos. So you are traveling out into space. You can imagine that there is darkness lit up by little starlight, but that you are actually going into the womb of the cosmic mother, which is dark. And there's a space of quiet fallow. This is a place that you can allow yourself to rest. Just taking a few moments and focusing on the exhale again, where you're just letting go. In this space, nothing you need to do. Nothing you need to be. Breathing into this darkness. And a voice of Great Mother comes. Beloved, I am here with you. I thank you for all you have gone through in this lifetime to bring you to this moment. I love you from the depths of my being. I am here to hold you through your darkest nights and birth you into your brightest future. You are not alone, beloved. You belong. The gifts flowing through you are needed on our planet at this time. I invite you, beloved, to co-create with me, to listen to the depths of your being, for what is wanting to come through you here and now. You are welcome and needed here. And you now notice that there is an embodiment of the Great Mother beginning to take shape in front of you. Just notice who this being is. And she seeks to pull you close. See how she pulls you in. She might pull you onto her lap, or she may just pull you into an embrace. She's pulling you in as her beloved child. And in this space, you can feel that she is offering you a transmission of unconditional love. And with every breath in, imagine that this unconditional love frequency is penetrating deeper into your being, going into any hidden places that may feel unworthy, any places that may feel not good enough, any places you have doubts. Just allowing this unconditional love balm to move through your body and your being, inviting healing on all levels. As Great Mother holds you, she has information to share with you about your own life journey and what is wanting to move through you in this next chapter of your earth walk. Now open deeply your inner ears for listening to her guidance, which may come in the form of symbols, colors, or even words that feel like they come up from the depth of your being. Offer clues to what is wanting to come forward through you at this time. Ask the Great Mother, what, if anything, you need to release here and now to fully offer your deepest soul gifts. Listening for her answers. And what is needing to be received. Again, listening deeply. What is needing to be known. What is needing to be done. And now, Great Mother offers you a gift that is a symbol of what will most serve you as you open this next chapter of your life. Just tune in to see what that gift is. Any symbolic importance that it may have for you. And now in these final moments with Great Mother, seeing if there's anything else she wants to communicate energetically, or any other message she wants to share with you that will serve you on your path forward. Offering your gratitude to her. Now, one more time, Great Mother goes to embrace you. And as she does, she dissolves into you. As she is a part of you. So just taking in all the nurturance from encounter with Great Mother. And now reconnecting to that umbilicus cord that you traveled now the other way, going from this cosmic void of Great Mother, the fecund womb, traveling through this umbilicus cord, now calling yourself back into your physical body, back into this now moment, traveling back through space and time, bringing with you all of the wisdom from Great Mother, from this encounter with her guidance. As you come back, just taking a moment or two to wiggle your shoulders, wiggle your toes. I like to stretch my arms. And I would invite you to grab a piece of paper or a notebook if there's something around, and just make a few notes to yourself of anything that felt really significant you want to remember. That feels important for your journey moving forward. And I know it can sometimes take a few moments for us to kind of come back, but as you feel ready, if you haven't already done this, opening your eyes and coming back to this space with Stephen and myself. How are you doing over there, Stephen?
That was great. I definitely need that frequency more often, that activation. I was realizing like just how many subtle ways I've identified with this sort of the driving masculine energy, and that sort of more deeper, receptive, relaxing and receiving kind of energy is good medicine. Good medicine for
Yeah.
me too.
I mean, I think you're quite an incredible manifestor yourself. And I think that the balance of these two energies, like bringing in the feminine, the fallow space, the listening, the quiet, the receiving, the yin is really critical. And the whole journey of bringing things into form in the world, the manifestation, is the way it's been brought forward usually on our planet is a lot more masculine way, which can be successful. But through time, what I've noticed, at least for those in female bodies who try to do that, is it can be very depleting. We're trying to use a lot of that drive, testosterone energy, and it can leave us really tired.
Mm-hmm.
And that there's other ways that can be more replenishing along the way. So there's these natural cycles. There is the full expression and the big energy and kind of that external energy, but then there's also the time of the letting go, the releasing, the relaxing, just like with the seasons. It's like the winter, and the winter fallow stillness provides that exhale, which in our culture is not as popular. It's more like the inhale, 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 inhale. And then, and then we're like, we feel burned out or stressed, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
Mm. Well said, and very wise words. One area that we didn't explicitly cover, but it was part of your ritual, was really about empty presence, and this mode of kind of a more diffuse consciousness that makes us more receptive to that guidance, that more malleable, open-ended consciousness versus the focused, directive kind of consciousness. I wonder if you want to speak a little bit about how intrinsic that is to this work with archetypes.
Sure, yeah. Empty presence is one of the most kind of foundational principles, at least in the 13 moon lineage that I come from. And the idea is that we're literally, emptying out. And I know that in meditation, obviously, we're often trying to come back to our breath and empty, but there's really a focus on letting go of our mind, letting go of our thoughts, letting go of our agendas, our perceptions. And it actually takes some practice to really be able to kind of let go and let go and let go and let go, to be to this place where you really feel empty. And it's in that space of emptiness where you can really, hear more deeply those kind of divine impulses that show up as images or as knowings, or sometimes as synchronicities in life, but where we're even really paying attention to it. And so when we're so full of, our day and our plans and our kids, if we have kids, and our life and all the things, it's like we're not really available to hear the deeper currents. And those often move, they're kind of quieter, they're moving more slowly. and the earth itself is moving at these slower rhythms, but there's really a practice that is very inherent to the Great Mother, but that we weave through all of the different archetypes of coming to these places of stillness and getting empty enough where we really can hear, so that the impulses that we're receiving aren't always just our bright ideas, which can be wonderful, but it's like, okay, what do our ancestors maybe want us to know about this, or what is kind of wanting to move through, and it usually can't be heard or felt if we're so full. So emptying is an ongoing practice that's really, really helpful. And that's something that, for those of you interested in being part of the longer term program, that will be kind of a constant reminder, is to kind of empty first and then get on with empty, listen, and then, move into the more focused and kind of forward momentum practices.
Well, I think that's a perfect moment to transition to talking more explicitly about your upcoming program, which I know is a beautiful synthesis of this entire path of the 13 Moon Mystery School, and to focalize it in that sequential shedding of layers to get to the deeper listening, and then to align with natural forces and bring forth something really beautiful for the world. So the program that Devva is going to be leading is called the Divine Feminine Activation, Harnessing the Power of Goddess Practices and Lunar Cycles to Catalyze Your Soul Work. You can find it at the URL divinefeminineactivation.com, divinefeminineactivation.com. It's a unique format to this program, and I'll let Devva share a little bit more about it, but why don't you give us a broad overview of what your intention is with this program, what you're bringing together, and then I'll read out the modules. You give us a preview of what's coming in each.
Great. Okay. So yeah, I'm really excited about this program. I have led it a few times in the past, and each time I feel like we're just kind of honing it a little, even more refined and honed. So in the beginning, I'll really be kind of giving people an overview of the map of where we're going and the archetypal plan. There's a whole graphic we'll be working with that's called the Moon Mat, which is almost like a visual representation of our entire 13 Moon Mystery School, which is said it's connected to an Avalonian lineage, but it's said that mystery school used to be a 13 year mystery school. And then in this where we'd focus 1 year on each archetype of the sacred feminine of the 13 we work with. And then we've consolidated in modern times to be a 13-month mystery school. And now it's even being much more further compressed into a single month's time. So we'll be working with each of these. It's kind of just like, a little taster of each of these different archetypes, but kind of working with some of the core energies of each one with a specific intention of manifestation. And so I'm inviting people to, come in as we work with the Great Mother, and we'll continue and deepen what we've started here today, but into a deep listening space, and then really to focus for a month's time on, what is a specific vision or project that you're really wanting to bring into manifest form, and to really focus on it for a month using all these archetypes and these different practices, and kind of keeping focused attention on it. And I've really put a lot of energy into this course. So I've created a little email that will go out to you every single day, that will share with you practices for that day, that will share with you information about the archetype. And then I've also recorded videos, short videos, that give you a little bit of a practice for each of the different archetypes that we're working with, to make it practical. Because as I said, we'll be meeting every week, but every 2 to 3 days we'll actually be shifting archetypes. So I recorded these little videos with you, so all along the way you'll get kind of like a little energy infusion from that next specific archetype that we're working with, and then you'll be utilizing that for the next few days. And the idea is that we'll together be in a field, and that also really amplifies our potency, because it's not just one of us that's working with manifestation. We're in a field, so we're connecting with many other women from around the globe who are all kind of holding each other. And so we're creating this strong energy vortex together. And I find when I plug into something like that, and we're all doing intentional practice, and we're all working with the archetypes, for all of us, it kind of like supercharges what I can do on my own when I'm plugged into something like that, and I'm receiving support and guidance, and I'm hearing what other people are doing. And it's kind of, there's an energy that really takes over, where it's like we're all sort of revving our engines together, and we all get the benefit from that. So the hope would be, you'll learn a system of manifesting with the lunar cycle and with the archetypes that you can reuse over and over through time, as you're seeking to bring things into your life, into manifest form, or even energetic things, calling in different things you might want in your life, whether that's abundance or a life partner. And so I'm teaching you this system. And then I'm hoping at the end of a month's time that you'll have made significant progress on something that you really want to bring into form. And then, as I said, you can continue working with that on your own or privately with me if that's something that's desired. But I'm really excited to see what can come out of a lot of us coming together. And it's the perfect time of year. This is the fall, at least where I live. And it's a good time. In the other hemisphere would be spring, but it's a good time to be working on visions and projects and really getting stuff going in a much bigger way than we could just do on our own.
Module 1, deepen your understanding of manifestation and seed your intentions with the new moon, Great Mother, and the Goddess of Compassion.
Yeah, so in this module, we'll be doing, working more deeply with the Great Mother in this still space and really listening. And then we start working with the Goddess of Compassion. The Goddess of Compassion is also a lot about forms. So we'll be working with mantra, mudra, and visualization, and kind of more, this is where we go out of the kind of cosmic void of listening in the Great Mother to really more focused work with, okay, what are the very specific intentions? And then these different practices, as I said, mantra, mudra, yantra, which is kind of imaging, to help bring those into manifest form. So that's what we'll be working with for the first chunk of our time together.
Module 2, cultivate inner stability, activate your intuition, and expand your soul vision with the waxing moon, priestess, and goddess Hailey and Artemis.
Great. So then this next week, there'll be three different archetypes we're working with. So the priestess is really about stillness, taking the seed of your intention into an inner focus. And we'll be working with seeing, feeling it as already happening. I know that anyone who's an athlete knows that as you vision something and see exactly how it's going to go and how it's going to manifest, it kind of greases the wheels to allow that to manifest more easily. So we'll be working with that with the priestess. Then the creator destroyer, this is that Kali energy that I spoke of before, that's kind of shaking things up, releasing, letting go. It'll be the invitation of, what are you holding on to that's really in the way of manifesting your intention, and where do you need to let go, clear out, and also looking at how do we make what we're wanting to bring into the world truly in service of the greatest good as well. So we're working with that with Kali. Then the Lady of Communion. This is the archetype of Artemis. She's often seen as an archer, and she is the combination of the masculine and the feminine together. And so this is where we're starting to bring in more of those structures. We honor the structures of the masculine that can be very helpful. So we start getting more concrete, mapping out our milestones and our goals, and having that structure to support everything that's wanting to manifest through us.
Module 3, bring passion, creativity, play, and vitality to your intentions with the approaching full moon, the muse, primal goddess, and goddesses of love.
Great. So yeah, as this is, as we're moving towards the full moon, the muse is a lot about play and spontaneity. And so and really creativity. So we're starting to weave in more creative practice, playfulness, spontaneity. How do we have this manifestation process be not this like drudgery of like just doing our goals, but it's making it fun? How do we bring our joy in? And as we move to the full moon is goddess of love. She's all about joy and sensuality and kind of that beautification of our intention. So as we live into that space inside of ourselves, doing practices like anointing ourselves with oils that literally lift our frequency, so we are being this magnetic one, then again, more easily the manifestation flows. And then the primal goddess, that's our wild woman running, or man running naked in the moonlight. And so how do we let more of our aliveness come into this, and our passion, really pouring our passion more deeply in this phase of the moon? So this is a really fun portal we get to go through together.
Module 4, face the hidden parts of yourself to dissolve manifestation blocks with the waning moon, wise woman, and goddess Isis.
Great. So yeah, the waning moon, we begin with the initiator. Her mantra is, I challenge, I clarify, I align. So, where are we coming up against challenge? What needs to be challenged in terms of what we're wanting to manifest in the world? So this is a place, the initiator is a lot about divine alignment. So how do we more clearly align with the divine, and looking at what might be out of alignment, and how do we come back into alignment so that we are a really clear vessel to bring something through. And then as we continue in, we're also working with the wise woman, who's a lot about simplification, letting things drop away, and coming back to, what is our main intention, our main focus, and how do we, continue to breathe energy into that in the most simple way possible? How are we communicating it in the most simple way possible as well?
Module 5, weave your dreams into the cosmic matrix with the waxing crescent moon, Dreamweaver, and Queen of Death.
Yes. So this is a really important phase. As we work with the Weaver Dreamer, she is a lot about, you think about a spider web, literally a network, and you are dreaming into your own spider web. Who are the people that you are connected to? Who are your allies, or who could be your allies in the visions you're wanting to manifest in the world? How do you reach out to them, connect with them, be this Weaver Dreamer where you're tapping your networks and talking to people about what you're up to, and finding support for what you're doing, finding, if it's clients you're trying to bring in. This is kind of like the networking phase of the moon, and where you're really putting your energy into that, and finding allies. And then on the heels of that, we go into the Queen of Death. So we're letting it go. We're letting go our attachment of things manifesting exactly the way that we imagined, letting go for, something bigger, the bigger divine plan manifesting through us. So it's this interesting balance of continuing to kind of do our work, put forward energy, and keep showing up, knocking on the door, but at the same point, allowing ourselves to be spacious enough that we can also let go of our attachment of exactly, how we think it's supposed to be, to allow this bigger thing to come through us, and for us to be the vessel of it. And that's kind of towards the end of our cycle. And then we're kind of letting go as we come back to the new moon again.
Module 6, merge with the alchemical goddess to embody your full creative and transformational power.
Yeah. So we work through these 12 archetypes during the lunar cycle. And then the 13th one is the alchemical goddess. That's where it kind of all comes together, where we're holding the whole. So this is a place where we'll really be kind of reflecting on, okay, what has happened in this time that we've been together? What has come? What have we manifested? How much progress have we made or not made? And what comes next? So we're kind of taking that larger view. We're holding all the energies, we're reflecting, and then we're planning our pathway forward.
And finally, Module 7, receive coaching and answers to your remaining questions to move beyond barriers and manifest your best life.
Yeah. So I didn't get a chance to do this when I taught this before, and I found that it was a really missing piece. So I really wanted to add in this last place where I get to do some laser coaching with you, because we will be moving through quite a large body of material at a pretty rapid pace, just in terms of, all 13 archetypes within 30 days. So I often find that there's questions that come up I want to have more time to answer, but I'd also love to give people the opportunity to do some laser coaching, and where I can support people in a one-on-one way to, if there's something that has come up that hasn't gotten resolved, a challenge or an inspired idea that's wanting to find, this wants some input. I'm really excited to be able to do that with people. It's something that I really enjoy, and I missed out last time in the program. We didn't have sufficient time for it. So now we will.
Well, again, all the details are at divinefeminineactivation.com. So you're going to get not only the 70, 90-minute live sessions with Devva, includes all those daily emails and special videos and practices. You're also going to get recordings, video and audio of every session, as well as word-for-word transcripts to work with, study, and highlight. There's weekly exercises for home and a Facebook community, which really can get to be such a deep, intimate way to connect with others around the world. And there'll also be some small group time with other participants. On the page at divinefeminineactivation.com, you'll also see a number of bonuses from beautiful elders in this lineage, like Ariel Spilsbury, the founder. Actually, Jean Houston is another bonus, that she's not this specific lineage, but also an inspiration in the field of feminine empowerment. So the audio teaching from Ariel is called Reclaiming Our Relationship with the Moon as a Creational Compass, really setting the foundations for this alignment of personal practice and lunar alignment. There's also, as I said, the dialogue between Devva and Jean Houston on women's critical role in an ever-changing world. And then there's a special bonus that's just available until midnight tonight Pacific time. It's called Liberating the Goddesses. What will you do with your one wild and precious life? It's actually a 90-minute audio teaching from Jean Shinoda Bolin, who's also another inspiration in the field of women's archetypal activation. And so another beautiful offering that you can get to help to activate more of the different facets of the goddesses within you. Well, it's a great extra bonus as well. So an abundance of wisdom to be shared in this program. And we've kept the investment very accessible. It's just 3 payments of $128. You save 10% when you pay in full, with one payment of $349. The course is going to start on October 11th and run on Wednesdays at 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern. And even if you can't make those live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings and the transcripts in the community as well. And I also encourage you to go to the page and check out some of the testimonials from Marcy Shimoff, Marianne Williamson, Andrew Harvey, really eminent people in our field. Just so grateful for Devva's guidance and support and her beautiful examples. So she really has, she's been facilitating work, particularly with women, for a good 20 years now, and has really been at the forefront of women's empowerment movement, and really doing so in a way that's deeply and divinely aligned. So you're in great hands, and you're going to learn a lot and activate a lot and really receive a lot, more importantly. So again, the whole program can be seen at divinefeminineactivation.com, divinefeminineactivation.com. So Devva, beautiful hour. Thank you particularly for your ritual and just the deep presence and wisdom you've shared. Anything you want to still share with folks who are considering going deeper on this journey with you into the divine feminine activation?
I just want to invite people to just take a moment and just drop into their belly and see if there is a feeling of yes, which feels more like open, leaning forward. And if so, I'm really, really excited about this opportunity. I haven't been teaching as much publicly for a couple of years. I've been doing a much deeper dive internally and spending a lot of time with my family. And so this feels like a coming out party for me to come out again and really share a lot of the wisdom and the depth that I've gleaned from my inner process. And I'm really excited to have the opportunity to now come out and share it with a larger circle again. And really, my deepest desire is to supercharge each of you who have these deep intentions. I know there is beautiful work that's wanting to come forward, and more feminine inspired work. And I really want to be wind underneath your wings to help get your own beautiful visions and projects out into the world in a deeper way. So I really hope you'll give me the opportunity to support you in this program. And for those who are feeling that, yes, I'm really looking forward to this journey ahead together.
Well, thank you, Devva, and thank you all for joining. May we all go forth just that with that deeper alignment with our inner resources, the divine support that's available to us, and receptive to the wisdom that can guide us. And for those of you who want to go further with Devva, you're going to be in great hands. She does really beautiful work with people, and I know you'll come out feeling much more empowered and whole and lit up to really bring more of your gifts into the world. So again, you can get all the details at divinefeminineactivation.com. Thank you so much. Many blessings.
Thanks all.